Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Today I have for you this lovely little home that is inspired by a home in real life that I pass very regularly, taking my kids to activities and such. And every time I pass it I go, I need to build that. Strictly because of this little tiny bump out in the front that is like a little sunroom, and it always has like plants in the window. And I love it. I think it's the cutest thing ever. And it's like tucked back on this road with lots of landscaping. It's just really cute. And it is in fact this dark red color wood siding with these windows that have the X's in them, as I call them. I just think they're really pretty. So I was thinking today was the day to try to recreate it purely from memory. I had a feeling if I tried to look it up on Google, like Google Maps, that the images would be too old, maybe outdated, maybe like before they did the latest paint job or something, and it just would totally ruin the inspiration for me, because that is what happens sometimes when I try to recreate a house from real life and then I look up a reference image and just there goes my inspiration, because it just ruins it. So I decided to just use it as inspiration and go completely off my own noggin. So I did try a little bit of terrain manipulation, which I don't always do because I'm terrible at it, but I did my best. I tried really hard. I also used a lot of like debug fencing and the tool mod to move things into the landscaping more so that it wasn't floating, because that is a common problem. But I think it came out pretty cool. You can tell me in the comments if you thought it did. And if you want to download this, it is should be already up on the gallery by the time I post this. I think I called it Cozy Grandparents Home. Because I imagined that this home in particular, maybe not the one in real life, but at least this one that it's inspired by, would be for one grandparent or a set of grandparents, and their grandchildren come and stay with them pretty often, and they have their old room from when the grandchildren's parent was living in this house, so their child was living in this house. They have their old bedroom set up to accommodate overnight stays from their grandchildren, and they have like an old toy box that used to be their child's toy box, now belongs to their grandchildren as well. I thought that was a cute little idea. I used a lot of the Basement Treasures kit, and I don't know if I used anything else from the Greenhouse Haven kit. No, I think I used a few items, but those windows in the front I used, and I think also a couple little plants, because how could you not? They're so adorable. I did the floor plan here, which was very difficult at first. I did a sunken, pretty heavily sunken actually, living room, and then I used these new arches from the Growing Together kit, Growing Together pack. Oh my gosh, because I thought they were very cute, and they filled up the space really nicely. And then I just used a regular archway here. Now you'll notice there's no bathroom yet again. I'm terrible recently with remembering bathrooms, but don't worry, I make an adjustment later to the floor plan, which you'll see pretty soon. And I do manage to work a pretty nice sized bathroom in here. So here I'm just using platforms again to make a little step down into the sunken living room space. And then I was just testing it. This is my grandma playtester sim. And then we move into the kitchen. You'll see I kind of jump around, because what I like to do is just get a basic shape down, maybe pull out one item or two that I know I want to use, and then I kind of move on to the other rooms. I get them all set up because I operate at nap time and bedtime. That is my only time to build, edit, record voiceover, all that. So that is why I do it the way that I do it. It's for my own time management. Yay, parenting. Alright, so here we are getting that basic kitchen shape down. I liked the yellow, and I figured we could do some really classic kind of grandma pastels and like maybe some dated wallpaper all throughout the house. I thought that would be really, really cool. Over here in the sunroom, the sun window, I guess, this was my favorite little part here. And I do end up changing that very front window to be the one from Laundry Day that like sticks out a little and has like the curved piece up top, even though that's technically for medium wall height. So I didn't show it in the editing, but I had to make the walls medium height, throw the window down, then take the walls back to small, short wall height. And I think if you have bb.move objects enabled, then the window should stay where it is. See, I don't know because I use Better Build by Twisted Mexi. The link is in the description box. And for that, I just always have it checked. It's a little checkbox, and it's just always on. I don't have to think about it, so I don't have to add it as a cheat necessarily. Same with the show live edit objects, or the entitlements, like the gameplay unlocks. I don't have to do any of those things because they're little checkboxes. It's quite nice. So that little sun area came together pretty quickly. I just kind of threw some plants down. I do end up rearranging some things later, but for now that's the basic shape. And then over here I sized the fridge back down to its normal size because it didn't need to be bigger over here. Actually worked really well, and I did check it to make sure you could get some cold cuts or whatever you want out of there. I just assumed she would want cold cuts. Here's the light I end up using. Now I think I end up, where did I go? Okay, I was trying to decide on what ceiling light I wanted. I wanted more of a grandma style, more of a traditional ceiling light that you would see in older homes. So that's what I decided to use. And then I think I picked the wallpaper, or did I pick the rug first? I picked the rug first. Okay. I did this a few days ago, so I've been working on other things, finally getting back into the swing of it. Here's this wallpaper, the tile from Growing Together. That yellow is just, it's just perfect. It's perfect for this space. It's exactly what I wanted. And then I didn't know how far over I wanted the tile to go. I do end up just cutting it off at the wall corner there, pardon my yawn. And over here I put some frames, and I thought maybe she had like some pictures of her grandkids, and she put them up on the wall next to her so that even when they're not here, she can feel like she's eating with them or something. I don't know. I thought that was super cute. My grandma has a few pictures of all of her grandkids all over the house as well. And I think there actually is some above the dining room table, if I remember correctly. Huh. I don't remember. Or maybe there was in her old house. Okay, so here I am moving into the mudroom, the entryway. I threw down this stone from the country kitchen kit for the flooring, and then I just used some base game pastel wallpaper in like this peachy tone. I thought it was really cute. I thought it went with the flooring really well too. And for now I have a stacked washer dryer situation and the little robot vacuum. But I do end up completely changing the orientation of the laundry room later on, which you will see when I get back to this space. But I'm just throwing some stuff down and trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted some shelving and some clutter. I wanted it to look realistic. I had to size that bottle down just a little bit because it was just slightly too big for that shelf. And then this little bucket of cleaning supplies I put down here, size that down as well. Over here is the, I think this is from Laundry Day as well. This is like the little coat rack hutch thing. Put that down, and I think a plant, and then maybe I replace the light. And I think that's it for this room for now, because I didn't want to stay in here for too long. I had to move on to the other rooms. And at first I thought I wanted bronze, but I picked black for that light color. Alright, and here I am just figuring out a new orientation, realizing at least a little bit sooner than last time that I didn't have a bathroom. So I was trying to figure out which room I wanted to cut into, the grandparents' room or the kids' room. I picked the kids' room because I figure we can do bunk beds in there and it'll make more sense. But for a full-size bed, I want them to have a lot of room, a lot of space. So here's moving into said bathroom that we just created. I did the pedestal sink from Cottage Living because it's super cute, and I wanted it in that same swatch for the hardware. I kept the toilet the same, and then I just threw in the shower tub combo from Growing Together. The gold and white one, I believe, is what I decide on. And then I think we might move outside to landscaping. I'm not 100%, but oh no, yes, we do. Haha, I was correct. Here's that window. That's right. This is where I decided to replace that window. I used Tool Mod to lower it down, and then I decided to tackle the roof. Now in the front, right here, the roof looks a little weird at first because I was trying to get my vision across and it just wasn't quite working out. I also used the Greenhouse Haven roof, the glass roof from there. I didn't like the way that overhang looked, so I just pulled it back, but I did use a chunky kind of roof trim, so it kind of blends in with the window. And then I had to redraw the ceiling, because I wanted that piece above the sun area to kind of, to let the sun in, and it wasn't doing that. And then just quick easy roof for the rest of it. Once I got the shape down, I had to break it up into pieces and extend and retract the eaves accordingly. And then I just copied the same roof piece for this back bump out and front bump out, and I think that came together nice. The top wallpaper for the roof is my favorite scalloped wallpaper from Cats and Dogs, and then I just picked a nice red inlaid roof trim for the roof meeting the house, and I think that worked out pretty nicely. And here I am adding more chunky roof trim to match the rest of it. I think I went with a dark gray tone for the shingles, also the scalloped shingles. I love them. I use them all the time, in case you haven't noticed. And here is the sunken living room. I picked that very dated primrose wallpaper with the wood paneling on the bottom, and then the little platform trim is very chunky dark wood. So I used the same flooring, but I did a darker shade for the wood tone. And at first I have carpet in there, but I believe I go to hardwood in the end, and I just throw a rug down. I don't know quite when I change that, so we'll find out together. And then here's that couch from the Basement Treasures kit. It's a very grandma couch. I love it. I love it in the pink. It's perfect. And that little TV hutch from Tiny Living. Yes, and also the bookshelf. I think they worked really well. They're kind of retro looking and super organized, and I just assumed that they need space for all their books and electronics and their DVDs and their VCR, because I just imagine all grandparents having that, although now I might be dating myself a little bit, but my grandparents always had a VCR and a DVD player and the cable box and a little stereo. So funny. But I did want to kind of incorporate the kids into this living room. So there's the toy box and a little block table. I think I left enough room around it. I did not play test this with a child sim. I probably should have, but I did not. Here you'll see I'm adding the area rug, and I changed the wood flooring underneath, or I changed the carpet underneath instead to be the wood flooring in that darker tone. And more Basement Treasure stuff. I know it was sneaky, but I snuck in that little box of board games underneath in the glass sliding doors of that bookshelf. I almost said bookshelf. And here is, you see the rubber plant, and also the framed picture from that same kit. And then I think I was just trying to look for some kind of wall art that was screamed out grandma to me. And I ended up picking this one, but I couldn't figure out which wall I wanted to put it on. I decided to put it over here and just change the frame to this pink one of the little young family. Maybe that was their family. I don't know. I thought that was really sweet, though. I like the nostalgia of the Basement Treasures kit. It really speaks to me because I'm old. And here is the side table, I guess, the entryway table, but I used it behind the couch, and I put up that very retro looking broken lamp and a little plant. And then I think I broke out, what did I grab? Oh, I think it's yes, here it is. It's the arts and crafts. The little section of arts and crafts. Maybe they do crafts with their grandkids instead of watching TV all the time, I thought that was really cute. And the little stack of trophies and medals I thought was a nice addition. And then one more plant over here. I think there's a plant in every corner. Yes, there is. There's a plant in every corner of this room because there has to be. And then I just put this big fern over here with the very ornate pot. I thought that was a cute little addition right there. I forget what kits that's from or what pack that's from. My gosh. We have so many. I think it's just base game, actually. Oh, it is. It is just base game. I just looked down at the catalog. My brain and my mouth are not cooperating today. So for the bathroom, at first I thought I wanted that big woven mirror from Growing Together, but I decided on this one instead. I thought that was cute. And now you will see I'm going to be pulling out a bunch of random stuff. I'm trying to decide what I want to do over here. At first I thought to just use the spots on the back of the toilet to put the plant and the candle and leave it at that. I just didn't like how empty this wall was, and I was thinking about what kind of a bathroom they would have. So I know that the mirror kind of doubles as a medicine cabinet. It looks like it opens, so they wouldn't have an additional medicine cabinet. And inside the shower has all their soaps and stuff. So I just kind of moved it into the wall, and I hung up this little soap caddy. I thought it looked really, really nice in there. That's from the bathroom clutter kit. And I also pulled out the plunger and toilet brush combo after I sized it down a little. Again, huge. And then I really, I put the toothpaste and the toothpaste in the cup and the soap dispenser, but I really wanted to use some shelves over on this wall. I decided it needed to be shelves. So I shuffled through a couple, and then I decided on these from Base Game as well. They came in very handy, looking kind of worn and old, like they've always been here. And then I pulled out a debug item, just like a post. It actually came from Jungle Adventure, because I wanted to make sure that the shelves were in line. And if I remember correctly, very shortly, you'll see me pull out a bunch of stuff and place it, and then it'll cut to when it's all done. That was the plan. So I pull out the towel with the soap on it, also from Bathroom Clutter, same thing with the dentures and the electric razor, and then the toothpaste over here, and then I use the sized up cotton ball holder, or it's the normal size, but I sized down the pink jar to look like, like maybe bath salt or Epsom salt, something like that. And here is the finished product after I got done moving everything around with the red shelf, and oh gosh, it was a labor of love, I tell you, but it worked out really well. I think it came out really nice. And into the hallway I continued that same wallpaper from the kitchen, and those same lights from the living room, those little rosebud looking lights, or the flower bud lights. I really like them. I really like them for a grandparent's home. I think they're perfect. And this rug just kind of gave me the same feel as the bathroom floor mats. So I used this one, which I never use because I think it's ugly. It's ugly in a good way this time. And into the children's room, we have their bunk bed. I couldn't decide which swatch I wanted for the longest time. I think this is the one I decided on, and then this wallpaper I assume has been the same wallpaper since their since their mom or dad lived here. I'm not sure which one. And it's just super cute. I love it. I had to change the orientation of the ladder, so that is why that gets done. But I just kind of scooch it up against the wall so the ladder can stick out on both sides, which I thought was convenient. I really did. And that end table is from the toddler stuff pack. Stuff packs, how I miss you. This little light is from the camping kit, the Happy Campers kit, or Little Campers kit. Is that what it's called? And then the little chicken or toaster clock, whatever that is, from Growing Together. No, from high school years. Wow, I'm all over the place today, guys. What are you gonna do? I've picked the dated rug for in here instead. I think that looks a little bit better, and honestly it makes more sense to me. The kids' room would have carpet, nice and soft and fluffy. And then I wanted to throw some posters or some kid stuff up here, so I decided on this right here, this little arts and crafts section, maybe crafts that they did at school and they brought to their grandparents' house to share with them, and maybe they kind of cycle out and they bring different items here and there when they do new things at school. That was the idea. And then over here I think I did an activity table. I moved that little bookshelf, the wall bookshelf that we got with Growing Together, and I put down a little activity table, and the friendship bracelet making kit is on the end table as well. What else do I add in here? It's been a while. Of course I add Blarfy. He goes at the foot of the bed. Of course he does. And I did test that your sim can get in and out of this room just fine and up on the beds. I could not test the table functionality, but I'm sure it's fine because it's in a really good spot. There's more crafty stuff on the floor and a little pop-up book and puzzles in the other corner. And then into the grandparents' room, so I picked this nice matching end table and dresser set for here, and this lamp from Seasons, which is my go-to lamp for my older Sims. I don't know why, it screams older Sims to me, like elders. Oh man, here's that matching matching dresser. And then here's that mirror that I was going to use earlier in the bathroom, but I repurposed it. We used it in here. And I just put a little like coffee mug in here, and I think I put maybe a vase of flowers. No, I did the basket of lotions and night creams. That's what I like to assume it is. And then this little bunny statue holding a flower. So cute. I believe the lantern I put on top of the dresser comes later, but it is from my wedding stories. I want to make sure I don't forget that because I keep saying it's from patio stuff. It's not. It's from my wedding stories. This rug is from Laundry Day, I believe, and I just change it to the swatch here. And then that causes me to change the shade of the wallpaper to a blue because I wanted it to match better. That is how I did that. See, I was going to use the patio light, and instead I used the wedding stories light and these same pink flower drop down lights. Now on to the landscaping. We made it, you guys. Okay, here's the landscaping. I did a bunch of different grass pieces, flowering shrub pieces all around, and just little like daisies and cute little wildflower patches, and I think a couple bushes, and of course my signature tall tree bush type thing that's over there in the corner. I repeat that I think 3 more times along the corners of the house because it's what I do. It's what I do. I'm a creature of habit and I just can't help myself. So here's some flowering bushes here. I think I repeat them in the back. Oh no, I repeat them right there in the front. Instead of placing this flower box in the front, I repeat those flowering bushes in the front instead. And I use tool mod to lower this down into the ground to look like maybe it's been built in and it's been there for a while. And of course the little stack of rocks, that is my new favorite little rock debug item to use. Some vines, some bushes, more flowers over here on the side. I was thinking about, if you saw earlier in the video, doing those little like steps almost, but I decided against it, so I got rid of those, and instead I just used some terrain paint to kind of paint the way down to the patio area. And then I throw down some planter boxes. 2 go down here, and then I do 2 smaller ones up off to the side. Here's where I'm putting down terrain paint for the driveway. It took me a little while because I wanted it to make sense and kind of be flat, but I wanted the rest of the terrain to stay kind of, hilly, for lack of a better word. Yeah, I took a lot more fiddling than I'm going to show you here because I cut most of it out. It was exhausting to watch and relive, so I didn't want to put myself through that, or you. Here we are picking out some wall pieces, and then I use tool mod to lower them down after I get them in the position that I want, because I wanted them to kind of look like they were built into the hill, going up to the flowers and the other landscaping. And I think that overall it came out pretty well. It took me a very long time to figure out, but eventually I got it the way I wanted it. Threw down some grass patches, and then these tall grasses that almost look like the lavender plants but without flowers on them. Sized them down a bit and threw them down on here. And I think I used tool mod to lower them down just a smidge more because they were ever so slightly floating, as were the grass pieces, which I ended up lowering down in the same fashion. I figured I'd at least show you one of those things, but I didn't want to bore you because I did this method with almost every single piece of landscaping that goes down the hill. Everything had to be lowered down, and these bushes in the front as well, they had to be lowered down. Oh my gosh, because they were floating, they weren't actually touching the ground. That took me a second. Eventually I ended up putting a wall in front of those yellow flowering bushes as well in the very front. But first I'm adding some rocks and some more little accent pieces as far as flowers go. I use this, my favorite debug lavender sprig right here in different sizes. It's just what I do. And that little iris from, what's that from? The iris is from Romantic Garden Stuff, as is that thistle and the plant I just placed as well. I really enjoy that pack for gardening. I think it I think it really gets the message across when you're trying to create a beautiful garden, whether it be manicured or not. These little clumps of grass are from Cottage Living. I very much enjoy those as well. I use those quite often in my own personal builds and also in my speed builds, if you hadn't noticed. They're really nice for filling in empty space on the lawn where you don't want to spend a lot of time drawing with terrain paint and you want it to look more 3D. Here's this wall that I'm adding here, so I basically just set up the wall from the debug menu and then lowered everything down, and that is it. And I liked how that turned out, so I also repeat it in the backyard, which I believe you'll be seeing soon. First we get some bushes here on the side. I think I just do 2 or 3 here for now. I do eventually send that all the way to the back, which you will see very soon. But for now, I'm throwing in some more debug fencing here, up on the front, the little side patio, I guess you'd call it. And I use tool to lower the debug items. Just a little bit. They looked a little too tall. I kept that one corner piece a little taller though, because I thought maybe like the little step in terrain, it made sense. I don't know. I just liked the way it looked. It made sense to me. And here's a little pathway. I tried to pick something that was the closest to that brick that we got from the Greenhouse Haven kit. So this is about the closest that I have without using CC. But that's okay. I like it. And I knew I wanted a pool out here. I don't know why, but this big backyard was just screaming pool. So I did it, and I did a little makeover on it, which I'm not going to show all of because, again, it took me a long time and it was exhausting. I think all I show is the ladders, and then it's just magically done. Ta-da! I use a bunch of stuff from Get Together. The lights are base game, I believe, but the little vents at the bottom of the pool are from Get Together. And the water texture is also from Get Together. I really enjoy that pack for build mode. If you're on the fence about getting it, I highly suggest it. If you are an avid builder, there's lots of very, very nice items in there, all different styles. And over here is the little kids play area. I have a swing set and the monkey bars. And I thought the swing set was nice because it's cute enough that the grandparents might like to sit there and be comfy, but the kids will also like to raucously swing away, as kids do. Here's some terrain paint drawing, just kind of trying to blend in this front hill with the rest of the terrain and make it make sense. That's just my favorite thing to do, is to make things make sense. I could have done a lot more terrain paint now that I'm looking at it again. It's one of those things, hindsight is definitely 20/20, but it's okay. You, if you download this home, can add more terrain paint, take away, do other things. That is the beauty of it. Everybody can change it to their liking. I did like the way it came out though. I'm not upset about it. Here's some grass pieces. Now I accidentally pulled out the ones that cost money, which I was trying not to do because I really was trying to keep it, I was trying to keep all of the landscaping basically debug. Except for that iris and those other 2 plants from Romantic Garden stuff, because, I don't know, it just seems unnecessary to me that they would cost you that much money. A bush should not cost you $50 in The Sims. Roofs are free. Bushes are $50. I don't know. You tell me why that's funny. Anywho, onto the little table, the seating area. At first I thought that picnic table was cute, but I liked this little white table instead with the blue and white striped umbrella. And then I tried to find chairs that looked comfy, but also that made sense to be backyard chairs. And I finally decided on these guys. They are base game. They're super cute. And they, of course, match the base game table, so that makes sense. I wanted to put a light on the table, but it's so tiny and it just didn't make sense. So what I did was a new thing that I just tried. I've never done it before, but I added this hanging ceiling light, and I just lowered it down with tool mod into the umbrella, and then I really enjoyed the way that came out, so I kept it. Over here we're getting our outdoor lighting situation figured out, and I think these are from Seasons. Yes, these are from Seasons. I put them in the back and also the side and in the front later on, and I also wanted this little shelf with hanging doodads on there. Hanging garden supplies. That's from, what is that from? That's from, why can't I remember? Cottage living. Wow, I'm really sorry. I'm having a rough time, you guys. And here we are, cluttering up, again, the rest of the build. So we're going to clutter up the little mudroom area, a little cut to the final product here. Put some potted plants and some boxes with supplies and some shoes. I thought that looked really cute. And then we move over to the laundry area, and ta-da, it's done. I had to cut out everything that I did. It took me so long. Also, getting this basket of linens on top of this particular shelf, because there's really no slot, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. And then back over here to the window area, I just scooch everything in about as far as it'll let me with that window, since it gave us just a little bit more room in the front there. But if you scooch everything in too far, you get outdoor lighting effect on the plants, so it's very strange. Here's this little selection of seedlings that are started. I really wanted them kind of the furthest in, and it was hard to get, but I think right there is perfect spot. And then I think I add a few more little plants, just teeny tiny little guys, right in between all the other stuff to make it look like it's more compact, should I say, more packed with flowers. And here's the kids' room, getting rid of that saucer light and putting in a nice fun ceiling light. And then back here we are finishing up the landscaping and the walls. I repeated that same wall technique from the front here with the stone fencing and the posts. They are also from Cottage Living Debug. They're very handy. They work in all kinds of applications, not just for making cottages, which is really cool. So I encourage everybody to try new things, especially with debug items and the tool mod. The possibilities are pretty much endless. It really is. And it took me a long time to really warm up to using tool mod, but now I use it all the time. It's quite nice. But anyway, we are going to be finishing up pretty soon. So thank you so much for joining me here today. And I hope that you, if you have not already subscribed, that you will subscribe to the channel to see more speed builds like this and other videos and shell challenge submissions, maybe some more Let's Play. I haven't decided if I'm going to cancel my Let's Play or not. But like and subscribe this video. It really, really, really helps me out, and I really just appreciate all of the support from you guys. And I will see you next time. Bye!